All right, guys, I just got a text in from a client and she wants this tattoo. So it's an image of a tattoo on somebody's leg already. So I'm gonna have to trace it on Procreate. So let's go and do that together and get you guys set up for your in-person training so you know exactly what you're doing. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is airdrop this from my phone to my iPad, which I'm sure you guys know exactly how to do that. And there it is. All right, so we're gonna go into Procreate. We are going to hit the plus sign and create a new page. And like I always like to work on, A4. So here is our page that we're gonna be working on. So we're gonna push this little button right here. Don't mind my chewed up fingers, you guys, I need to get my nails done. We're gonna press this little button here and we're gonna go insert photo, and it should be the last one on our camera roll. And there we go. So now it's in there and it's on its own layer. So here's the layers again. We're gonna check that out and we're gonna create a new layer and we're gonna be drawing on the new layer. So let's hit this plus sign here. Layer 2 is gonna be our drawing layer. Layer 1 is the picture. So while we're on layer 1, let's turn down the transparency of it. So we're gonna hit that little N and we're just gonna pull this down a little bit. I don't know, 62% sounds good to me. And we're gonna jump back on to layer 2 because that is the layer that we're gonna be drawing on. So we know we're on layer 2. We're gonna tap off and now we can zoom in and take a closer look at the tattoo. So we're gonna grab our paintbrush, make sure we're on technical pen. We are, and we're gonna make sure we're down to 6, 7%. I'm gonna go 7. We're gonna zoom in and we're gonna start tracing this design. So we've changed the angle for you guys so my hand's not blocking you the entire time. So we're gonna grab and start tracing. And this is where if I'm not on the exact line, I'm actually okay with that. It's okay if you want to make minor adjustments in certain places. And if you make a mistake, you're just going to tap the screen twice to remove it or to undo what you just did. And if you accidentally do a double tap and you're like, ooh, that wasn't a mistake, that was actually perfect, 3 taps will bring it back. So 2 taps disappear, 3 taps back to where it was. Turning things around so the angle is okay. Don't worry if the lines look really thick, because when you zoom out, they're not nearly as thick as they look when you're this zoomed in. Okay, onto the leaves now. So I don't like the way I have this angle, so I'm gonna hit the erase button and I'm just gonna erase that little bit and kind of start again. Now we're gonna check it out by clicking on layers, and we're hitting this little check mark here, and it's gonna delete that photo or at least minimize it for the time being. So we can kind of bring it back, make it disappear, see if there's anything that we need to adjust. And if we're happy with that, we can resize it here on Procreate by just clicking this, moving it, making it smaller, bigger. We can 3-swipe down and we can duplicate it, create a few different sizes. When you duplicate it, it does create another layer. So here is layer 2 is our original one that we drew on. So if you're gonna keep duplicating it and you wanna create multiple sizes, then make sure you're copying it from layer 2, which is our original drawing. So, sorry, we're gonna select it again. We're gonna duplicate it. We're gonna make this one even smaller. Okay, tap off of it. We wanna make one that's maybe massive and really big. We're gonna go back to layer 2. We're on layer 2, we're gonna select it, 3-finger swipe down, duplicate it, make it really big, and pull it down here. And we're good. So when you're all done, you're going to save your image. So go back to gallery. It should be the first one there. Select, check it off, share, save it as your JPEG. And from here, you could print it out or save it to your computer. You could email it to your client, do whatever you need to do, and then you're all set. So I've sent this design to my client and she absolutely loves it, but she wants to add her daughter's name to it. So that means we have to make an adjustment. Now there's a couple of things you can do. Number one, you can add text in Procreate. I don't usually do it that way, but you can. So let's get rid of some of these that we don't need. We'll keep this one right here. This is the one we're going to be working with. So for adding text, you're going to click this little wrench and add text. And then we are going to edit it. So we click on this keyboard. We're going to erase it and we are going to add Lila. That is her daughter's name. And then we're going to change the font in here. Now there's lots of different options in here. You can import some of your own text options into Procreate if you want to keep everything on one app. I am a Canva girl at heart, so I'm going to show you how I do it on Canva as well. So you have to highlight your text and then you're going to go in here and you're going to be able to change the text to whatever you want. So let's say we want to do a little bit of a cursive option. That is how you would do it on Procreate. However, let's bring this image into Canva and do it on Canva. So we're going to save it to our iPad. It's saved. Now we're going to jump into Canva and we're going to import it into Canva. So let's work on an A4 document. We're going to click on camera roll here. We're going to bring in our design. And here it is. Okay, so we can decide how big we want to make it. We put it in the center of our page here. And then we're going to add some text. So we're clicking on text here. I just grab whichever one. We're going to type out Lila, resize it, and then we're going to go in and change it. So this is where I have all of my favorite. Oops, we don't need that. All right, get rid of that. And we're going to decide where we want to put this. Maybe it's right at the bottom. That one's actually really pretty. So now if you want to print out some different size options, you can just duplicate and move things around and print different size options right here on Canva, which is nice. So you're just going to click that, duplicate. We're going to go bigger with this one. Lila, we're going to duplicate, make it a little bit bigger. So I like to print out the piece of paper that has the size varieties on them so that when the client comes in, we can cut around, and I really cut closely. I don't like to cut in a big square because that makes them feel like the tattoo is bigger than it is. So cut very close to the design, and you can tape it onto their arm or wherever they're thinking of placing it so that they can get a better idea for the size. Once they've decided on the size that they want, you can then reprint this on your stencil paper and cut out the one that they've chosen and use your stencil serum and get that on their skin and get tattooing. Another important thing to know how to do in Procreate, it's pretty straightforward, but it's erasing. So if this is the clip art that your client sends you and they want to make some adjustments, they want some of it to be gone. They don't want this piece here and they don't like these spiky weird ones. They like everything else. It seems really simple, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it anyways. You're just going to click the eraser tool and you're going to erase. So you can change the size of your eraser here, and we're going to get rid of whatever we don't want. like this guy either, so we're gonna get rid of him. We gotta make sure we get rid of this stem as well. And that's how you get rid of certain parts of the design that you don't need.